Magnets are weird. We're talking about real-life telekinesis. How can they just pull stuff? Why can they pull this kind of stuff, but not this kind of stuff? And why is the entire Earth a magnet? Well, first, we need to start with the basics. Magnets have two sides, north and south. North loves south, but north really hates north. So it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet situation, but if everyone was Romeo and Juliet. But why are these named after directions? Well, if you freely suspend one of these suckers, one side will point to the north and the other to the south. Which is kind of funny, because if opposites attract, that means the Earth's magnetic pole has the north in the south and the south in the north. And that's not confusing at all. What if you take two magnets and point them in the opposite direction at, say, a piece of metal? Well, they start beefing so hard they actually forget about the metal altogether and cancel each other out. Okay, but what actually is it? Magnets, just like pretty much everything else that's ever existed, is made up of atoms. So what makes these atoms have the force and these atoms totally lame? Their differences can actually be found in their similarity. All atoms have stuff called electrons, which orbit the middle/nucleus of the atom. Atoms also have stuff in the middle called protons. There's also neutrons, but they're kind of completely useless for magnetism purposes and total bums. That's because protons and electrons have charge, and when charge is moving, that charge becomes a mini little magnet.
Remember that. It's going to be important later.
So while the proton might not be moving, the electron is, making magnetism. Right? No, because I totally just lied to you, you gullible goose. Electrons don't orbit the middle of the atom at all. They actually just teleport around in little clouds in all directions, which is weird and a whole other scientific beast, maybe for another video. The gist is, they don't move enough to really be magnetic. But that's okay, because this guy, named Otto Stern, thought up a really complicated experiment that proves each electron is actually a teeny magnet in and of itself. Pause! What the freak? Why is an electron a teeny magnet in and of itself? Well, that's kind of a hard question because no one really knows. The answer is, it just is. We spawned in here and it was just like that. And that is literally the best answer physics can give. Okay, but then if normal stuff is made up of magnetic stuff, why the flip isn't everything magnetic? Well, to answer that question, we have to ask a bonus question. Why is the periodic table such a dumb shape? Ding, ding, ding. Valence electrons. Valence electrons are the electrons on the outer shell, which is also called an energy level.